As of January 2020, I have ridden 59 different roller coasters. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 25 of all time. A couple things before we start. 1, this is just my opinion, and 2, this is going to change a lot by the end of the year, because I'm going to Magic Mountain in spring, and Knott's Berry Farm while I'm there, and I'm also going to be going to Kings Island and Kentucky Kingdom this year, and possibly Dollywood, so it will change a lot by the end of the year, but anyway, as of now, here it is. Starting off the list at number 25 is Daredevil Dive at Six Flags Over Georgia. Now this ride is really close to not making my top 25, and it could easily be switched out with a ride that's not on this list. I want to try to keep everything about the ride short, so the drop's good, the first half is good, after the mid-course, very slow, kind of boring. It's alright, so yeah, that's that. Number 24 is The Boss at Six Flags St. Louis. Now I haven't ridden this ride in a while, and the longer I don't ride it, the lower and lower it drops on my list. So I do think once I get on it again, it will go up, because at one point in time, this was my favorite ride in the park. But all in all, I really do like this ride. It is a little on the rough side, but nothing that's too bad. Coming in at 23, we have Legend at Holiday World. When I was at Holiday World, I only ended up getting one ride on this, because it was only running one train, and I waited like 2 hours for the one ride I did get on it. And my one ride I did get on it was in the very back row, and although I thought it was fun, it was so rough. Now the laterals were crazy and they were super fun, but it was just jackhammering the whole time, so I don't know. I definitely need to give this another try, but for now, it's here. Coming in at number 22 is Wildfire at Silver Dollar City. I thought this ride was just fun. Not too crazy, it was just a good fun ride. 2 things that are worth mentioning though is the setting, because it's amazing, and the drop in the back row also provides some great airtime. But all in all, it's a solid ride, nothing too crazy though. Number 21 is Superman Ultimate Flight at Six Flags Over Georgia and Six Flags Great America. The reason there's 2 parks is because there's 3 in the world and I've ridden 2 of them. And just like Wildfire, I think this ride is fun but nothing too crazy, although that pretzel loop is very intense. And it makes me super excited to ride Tatsu in March. But all in all, this is just a good fun ride that really makes it feel like you're flying. Oh, and if you're wondering, I think I do prefer the one at Six Flags Over Georgia to the one at Six Flags Great America, mainly because it uses the terrain better. Number 20 is Batman the Ride at Six Flags St. Louis, Six Flags Great America, and Six Flags Over Georgia. Now there are many of these clones around the world, and I have ridden 3 so far. My favorite probably being the one at Six Flags St. Louis. But these rides are always fun, they're super intense, and they're very whippy. And it's definitely one of the best cloned rides out there. Number 19 is Georgia Scorcher at Six Flags Over Georgia. When I rode this was my first stand-up coaster, and I did not know what to expect going into it. And honestly, I had my expectations pretty low, because I've heard some bad things about stand-up coasters. And those expectations were blew away. This ride was amazing. I really loved everything about this ride, and the stand-up aspect was just super unique. And overall, I thought this ride was amazing. Number 18 is Timberwolf at Worlds of Fun. And to this day, this still might be the biggest surprise on a coaster ever. I went into this expecting it to be an old, rough, not fun Woody. And oh man was I wrong. It was super smooth, there was lots of airtime, and it was super fun. It is an overall outstanding ride. Everyone needs to check Timberwolf out. It's really good. Number 17 is Raven at Holiday World. Yet another amazing Woody. Just like Timberwolf, it's pretty smooth, great airtime, and so much fun. I do like Raven better, however, because it does go into the woods and has a really cool setting. And I just absolutely love this ride. Number 16 is Powder Keg at Silver Dollar City. This is a very fun, smooth ride with a relatively forceful launch. The airtime and setting are also pretty good. The only bad part, I would say, is probably the helix that uses the old Buzzsaw Fall track, because it's kind of rough, but other than that, it's a good ride. Number 15 is X-Flight at Six Flags Great America. Now I know this may seem a little high, but it may go down if I ride it again, but from what I remember, it's a really fun, smooth ride, and I absolutely loved it. The inversions are super fun, and the near miss and the hang time on the inline twist at the end were phenomenal. Number 14 is going to be Patriot at Worlds of Fun. This is my favorite B&M invert that I've ridden. It's super smooth, it's not incredibly forceful, but that's not what it tries to do, so that's fine. The inversions are super fun, and there's even a little bit of airtime. Overall, I really like this ride, and it is very fun. Number 13 is Mamba, also at Worlds of Fun. And although it ranks relatively high on my list, I was actually pretty disappointed with this ride. Everything I've heard about this ride made it seem like it was going to have really good airtime, so I went into it thinking that the airtime was going to be good, but I was pretty disappointed as the airtime wasn't that great. Now don't get me wrong, there's definitely still airtime, and there's a lot of it. It's just not as strong as I was hoping, but this ride is fast, it is smooth, and there is a little bit of airtime, so gotta give it credit. Number 12 is Thunderbird at Holiday World. This ride is phenomenal. It's super smooth. The inversions are forceful, the launch is forceful, it has a good setting, and it also interacts with the Voyage, so that's cool. It also has the great near miss with the barn, so all in all, I think this ride is absolutely outstanding. Number 11 is Mindbender at Six Flags Over Georgia. And let me say right now, if Timberwolf wasn't the biggest surprise on a coaster, then this is. My expectations were not that high for this ride, and this ride absolutely crushed them. This ride is amazing. It's smooth, it has good airtime, it's super forceful, it has everything, it has good terrain. It's just an amazing ride. Very, very fun. Number 10 is Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast at Six Flags St. Louis. This ride is so much fun, and it is very intense as well. It is getting a little rough, but that's fine. And it is a little on the short side, but that is also fine because this ride is amazing. Definitely the coolest ride in the park. Number 9 is Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City. This ride is super unique. And that drop out of the station in the back row is insane. It provides insane ejector. There are also 3 inversions, which are all super fun. And there are also 2 launches, which aren't forceful, but they're not meant to be forceful, so I think that's fine. So overall, I think this ride is definitely one of a kind, and is truly amazing. Number 8 is American Thunder at Six Flags St. Louis. This is actually my favorite ride at my home park, which is obviously Six Flags St. Louis, and for a good reason. The airtime on this is incredible, best airtime in the park by far. It is super smooth, and it is so much fun. And honestly, there's not a single bad thing I have to say about this ride. There's nothing this thing does wrong. Number 7 is another GCI in Missouri, and that is Prowler at Worlds of Fun. Now everything you like about American Thunder, just make it better, and that's basically what Prowler is. It's faster, it has more airtime, the airtime is stronger. The only thing I will say is that it isn't smoother. I don't know if I would necessarily call it rougher than American Thunder, but it's definitely not smoother than American Thunder. But this ride is incredible, and it's my favorite ride at Worlds of Fun. Number 6 is Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America. Now the best word I would use to describe this ride is just fun. It is just pure fun. It's not too intense, it's not too insane, it is just fun. There is some decent airtime, and especially in the back row and the drop, that is incredible. But the rest of the ride is just smooth and fun. I love it. Number 5 is Goliath, also at Six Flags Great America. And I had a tough time deciding between Goliath and Raging Bull, but I ultimately ended on Goliath. This is the first RMC on this list, and I absolutely love this ride. The first drop is incredible, and honestly, every element on this ride is incredible. The only problem is, there's not that many elements because it's a super short ride. But the dive loop is incredible, the 0G stall is incredible, the airtime hill is incredible. Everything about this ride is incredible, really. It's just a short ride. Number 4 is another RMC, and is Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags Over Georgia. Now, unlike Goliath, there are many airtime moments on this ride, all providing great ejector. And this ride is also really as smooth as you can get, but again, it suffers because of its length. This, just like Goliath, was a very short ride, but I did enjoy Twisted Cyclone more than Goliath. I also have a full review on this ride if you guys want to check that out on my channel as well. Please make sure to do that. Number 3 is Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. Now, deciding between Goliath and Twisted Cyclone might have been the hardest decision I've ever made, but I settled on Goliath. This ride, unlike Twisted Cyclone, is a long ride. It has so much airtime, and it is so much fun. The drop never got old. The airtime, I just can't even put into words how much I love this ride. Also, in the morning, I got like 8 rides in a row without getting off, and it was very fun. Number 2 is Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. This is my favorite RMC by far. The drop is absolutely insane. The unique inversions are awesome. There's so much airtime. The wave turn is amazing. And not to mention, the whole time, you're going super fast through the woods. This is obviously my favorite ride at Silver Dollar City, and it is absolutely incredible. And I haven't even gotten into the night rides yet. A night ride is just life-changing. That's all I'm gonna say. Every single person watching this video needs to get out to Silver Dollar City and ride this if you haven't already. And if you have, go and ride it again. But my favorite coaster of all time, by far, is, you probably guessed it, the Voyage at Holiday World. Oh man, do you even want to get me started on this ride? The height, the speed, the length, the airtime, this terrain, you can't beat it. That's all there is to it. It's the best coaster in the world. Gravity Group, outstanding job. You've really done it with this one. It's just amazing. I can't express how much this coaster is amazing. It's just amazing. And I've never even gotten a night ride on this thing. If I get a trimless night ride, I don't think my life would ever be the same again. So, that does it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please keep in mind, this is just my opinion, so don't get mad or anything. I'll probably be making another one of these in December after I've ridden some new coasters this year. And I know this video is on the longer side, so if you've actually watched this whole thing, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. Also, check out some other videos on my channel, too. I really appreciate it. This is Coaster Ties, and always remember, if you cut yourself, just put a little butter on it.